keep their car selling with Tesla. Like, you know, like Bob's Chevrolet is basically not. It's associated with Chevrolet, but it's like a random dude who owns it. Tesla wants to be like that person. So basically, all the Bob's Chevrolets in Texas or whatever say we lobbying to their government say we don't want these people in because we're gonna lose money. So now we can't have energy efficient cars and stuff like that. Like, is there like a way to fix this and like get it to a better way than like who has more money is gonna win?
Basically, I feel like people care more about money than the environment.
Yeah.
And we still have to deal with the oil companies who are rich as out of the way. And I feel like going to be more energy efficient loses the money.
You're
They would be oil. And they pretty much control.
Yeah, they rule the world. Like
Yeah,
all companies. They pretty much like.
Yeah, like the BP oil spill that happened recently was just like so much damage caused. This like little slap on the back. I mean, the fine was like $50 billion, but if you think about it,
Just
respect
nothing,
is like not much. And you know, the effects are still lingering from that and stuff, which is like another reason why we should like get away from gas because it's it's not a stable chemical to like which the whole purpose not supposed to be stable. It's supposed to be combustion and stuff, but it's, I know I don't. Is there like any problems with like using a battery operated like vehicle? Like is there any like risk? I feel like there'd be less risk other than like an engine's gonna protect you better from impacts. You know, other than that, I feel like
I know the batteries that they make that they use for those cars. They do use a lot more resources than a normal car battery does. I'm not sure the exact numbers, but
I don't know. Are batteries? They're made with non-renewable resources, correct?
I don't know.
the batteries still they're made with non-renewables.
So like I'm saying, like I feel like this process is gonna keep repeating itself. Like
I mean you're never gonna be able to get completely away from non-renewables.
So it's just basically
just trying to minimize it as much as
delay. Because lithium makes batteries, is in batteries and alkaline metals.
And lithium. I don't know if you guys have experience with like legit like lithium batteries, like with
I know they reminds me of my MacBook. That's what.
but if you don't know how to handle them well, they're very dangerous to deal with. Like with RC planes, you have to have a very special case to leave a lithium battery in.
Really?
If it's out of that, if it can go off at any moment.
Yeah. Are you into those? It's like a side topic though.
Yeah, I actually do make them for
because
my
I saw I don't know how much it cost, but it's literally like a jet RC car like played like.
I've seen those. Somebody made an SR-71 with it.
Yeah, it was like I thought it was the coolest. Sorry, I just had a comment.
Yeah, I mean lithium batteries. Yeah, they are very dangerous. They're very unstable if you don't know what you're doing with it.
Yeah.
Now, would like a collision say with the car, like could that?
Yeah, that could set it off.
I don't know if any like I don't.
There are ways to prevent that. I feel like because I feel like you put some precautions.
I know at least the Tesla, the batteries are on the bottom of the car.
Yeah, so, but I imagine they have like some kind of casing on it or something that can help prevent it from being as unstable. So I feel like that's been put into consideration because obviously if you know something's unstable, you're not going to throw it in a car unless you know it's going to handle the way you want it to.
You know, like how batteries like have lifespan, like you use your phone like 2 years, it goes off in 2 hours. Does that do with the car too? Because this kind of pisses me off.
No, you're true, but I'm gonna talk about Tesla's respect, but there's a battery life on it, and
there it is.
But most of them, I think, they'll like trade out batteries for you for like.
Okay.
Like, at least in Tesla's respect, like they have like battery changing stations, like they'll have like charging stations where you can literally go in there. Instead of like waiting for like 3 hours to charge, you go in there and they'll change it for you in like 15 minutes. Like give you a whole new set of batteries.
Nice.
It's just like you just change it out. So I don't think there is a shelf life on it, but like there's I guess ways to get around it. I mean that could be. I mean when you're paying $86,000 for a car, that's probably why it's included in that. But there's I guess.
Right.
You are going to be spending less money on batteries too because this is based off 2008 numbers because I had to research this back in 2008. But a normal car battery, it'll last like probably like 3 or 4 years.
Right.
But if you're using a hybrid car, which isn't even fully electric, the battery lasts 8 to 10 years. It is more expensive, but the amount of times you pay for the other batteries, it's still more than the more expensive hybrid battery.
What do we want to go next?
Real 5, right? So I guess we're talking, like we narrowed our solution down to electric cars, or like, do we have to narrow down our solution, right?
Yeah, so we've talked about electric cars, house appliances, planes,
Nuclear energy.
yeah, nuclear,
Solar energy.
yeah, solar, wind, with that.
I mean, you can even include like water in there because water can
Yeah,
be
water.
used. What else do we
That's enough.
and basically
It's like,
all this is caused by the impending energy crisis that's like
Yeah, right.
happening.
So gasoline to diesel.
I mean, yeah, you can you can put gasoline as like a solution
Yeah.
because it is a solution. Just continue doing all what we're doing.
Yeah.
Improve on how well efficient gas could be.
More
Efficiency.
Yeah, I guess that's our like the
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the last one is the most possible one for the short term, but maybe something like for long term discussion.
Yeah, because eventually we're gonna run out
Yeah.
of gas and fossil fuels.
By the way, I don't know if we comment on this. Is uranium could that be synthesized or is that all like found in the ground still? Uranium has to be mined, I think, correct?
Yeah.
So it's still like it's a more efficient way of solving the energy and it's less harmful to the environment, but it's still not a permanent solution.
no.
And is nuclear really a renewable source?
It's like I think it's half because it goes for a long time, but it actually like eventually becomes a waste, and you have to like bury it down or send it to space.
Plus the mining now, you're still using gasoline anyway to extract it, drills and stuff like that. So
And with the trade-offs for nuclear, for like the health consequences,
Yeah.
would that be a?
There's health consequences, but there's slim to none unless like an extraordinary which is most of this stuff is like an extraordinary circumstance happening. Is like no one knew an earthquake was gonna come or tsunami.
Yeah.
No one knew.
Right.
No one knew. And I guess Chernobyl, whatever happened there, I think the reactor overheated. It was just like it's normally like operator error. I think Chernobyl was operator error, like human mistake or something, or just nature doing something. So I don't know if that's like a main concern. I mean, people talk about fracking and all this stuff. Like, it's like, what do you value? Do you value it? Because they complain about stuff. It's like, do you value cheaper gas prices? Or do you value your health more? Like, it's like people want something and then they don't understand the implications of it, and you know.
I mean, to put their shoes on, like if you're a CEO of a company, you had need to like build a power plant, and solar like costs you like $1,000, like 1,000 times more.
Yeah.
Than
the cheaper option.
Yeah, and it's like
You make
if
you
we
make,
have choice,
you make
I
a million
mean,
of your customers happy versus like
yeah,
the 2,000 people you make happy by not putting the power plant on.
right.
Like a forest of like
Yeah.
chihuahuas or something. I don't know, but like you appease to. It's always about cheaper prices, and that's what wins. Like
It's all about
when the gas prices went down, people smiled, but a lot of them didn't know why the reasons it went down is because of fracking and how the U.S. is producing a crap ton of more oil and is just flooding the market and basically ruining Russia's economy.
Yeah,
and
Russia's
making
Yeah.
a lot of people in the Middle East unhappy with the oil prices going down because a lot of their economy is based off of oil being high. Because OPSEC is basically saying like, here's all the oil. It's like what the cartels do with the diamonds. It's like it's like we're gonna let this much get out to the market, and they artificially keep gas prices high. It's what they would do. But since the U.S. came in and bumped it down low, it went down, and that's making a lot of people unhappy. Yeah, so people don't realize. Yes, it's nice to have low gas prices, but it's not always a good thing.
That's true. of these solutions could probably hurt a lot of other countries.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If we go to solar, wind, and water, gas companies are gonna hurt. If we go to, you know, electric cars, maybe some car company doesn't make a good car, just gets out, but you know, so someone's gonna lose in all of this. But it's long term. I think it's, you know, it's overall it's better off that we go this route. So I think the best way to go into it is kind of narrow it down to, I don't want to say group, but say like ways to put more emphasis on renewable energy and less on gas. You know what I mean? Because that's, I think, looking through those topics, that seems like the main point we've been trying to prove is becoming less reliable on gas and changing it to more reliability on renewable energy. Because that, in the long term, it will make a more sustainable environment, you know? Because there's also talk of, like, a lot of water and electricity is used to produce crops. We didn't even get to that, too. But there's talks of, like, I know in Korea, and I don't know about China, but there's one of the nations over there talking about how they're going to build cities of, like, skyscrapers, and it's just going to be, like, grow ops. Basically, like, it's gonna be stories tall of like lettuce, and I'm not even kidding. And it's just gonna be like water. It's gonna trickle down the whole place, and it's gonna go to the bottom, basin up. It's gonna get reused. So it's like literally, they're talking about how it's like 80%, 90% efficiency, and like you're producing the crops inside the city, so you don't have to transport them. Saving on gas that way. You're saving on money to produce the crops. You're gonna have less waste because it's closer. So a lot of people are like literally thinking about this as an answer to basically changing, like, I know there's a lot of it on like in cities and stuff, like neighborhood gardens and stuff. Like people are, I guess, starting to get the sense of I don't want to say making the turn for the better, but like stuff's happening and which is pretty cool. So do we want to talk about any possible solutions to energy? Like, how can we influence people to make the switch? Like, what policies can we make?
The main point is motivation, like, or education.
I think it all comes down to saying we have to get the group, like, the mass behind it, saying, like, this is what we want to do. And then we have to get it to, the government saying this is the route we want to take. Because it all begins with the government. Because the government's going to put I mean, as bad as it is to say, I'm not going to say government regulation is good by all means, but something like this regards, it's always going to be the cheaper route for companies, and it's proven. So government has to step in, and set places to say, like, tax breaks maybe. So basically, that's how you get companies to do stuff, is tax breaks. Get them to do this. Might be a little more expensive, but it's going to make everyone better off. So we have to get our government wanting to do something, which is tough, and then we got to say, hey, tax breaks is a big one, I think. If you use your plant to produce. I know traffic or what is it? You said it was trading cap or something like that. Well, trading cap is something like where you the government comes in and says you only can produce this amount of CO2 pollution, and basically based on each firm's like need to produce is like they'll trade. There'll be permits in the economy, and so say like we're gonna allow 500 cubic meters of gas to be produced, so there should be 500 permits that the government's gonna give out, and then there's like literally markets that companies will trade the permits and stuff like that, and who needs them and when, what I mean? Like, that's like a way of solving it too, is possibly cap and trade programs. I know that's a big one, at least in production now, but it's still not even that big. Like, there's not much regulation in the government right now for stuff like that. I mean, the Clean Air Act was in 1970. That was like a huge one, and then Obama, I think, passed something, I forget, was it last term or this term, but
this is first term.
Something to do with I don't know what it's called.
I forget the exact name of it. It was based off a California project that he just implemented around the whole country. Yeah. So that's kind of going to the California thing. I kind of like their model right now. Right now they're